Good morning, park managers, and welcome back to Archipelago Park. We are just finishing up here now, really. We've done all the enclosures that I want to do. Originally, I was kind of thinking I'll go back to the first island, add a few more enclosures, and then I sort of looked at it and I was like, it doesn't really need more enclosures. I feel like I've placed a lot of animals down already, and I feel like I'd just be forcing myself to do something that didn't seem necessary and probably changing the layout and look of this island, which I already do enjoy the look of it and the way it is. We just go around placing like lights and things like this, so during the night time the guests can see what they're doing, because I didn't really place that many lights. I think it was only the second island where I actually done near enough all the lighting for, but then the first and third and fourth I didn't bother doing any lights for some reason. I don't know why, but here we go. We're just placing down all the lights and we'll go and have a little nosy. I've got a fair few clips. I did chop it up. I didn't want to, I think originally this video would have been like nearly an hour long, which I didn't really want to do. Not in the sense of like, I feel like the video would be too long and we won't get that many people sticking through to the end, because an hour is a long time for your day to go exploring a park. And we already have like the detailed videos of me making it and showing off the enclosures, so you get to see all that anyways. But as you can see, these are all the islands complete. Probably one of my favourite being Compy Island. Always love adding a Compy Island when you're having the Archipelago Park. But the guest area I kept nice and simple. I didn't go overboard with it. I just wanted a bit of decoration in the centre, because obviously this is the first part of the park to see. It's pretty tight when I look at it, but then if I was going to change anything to it, I'd have to move the Utyranus enclosure and do a little bit of messing around in that sense. The staff area is kept nice and simple, because it was only really an area to drag off creatures and do a few different bits and bobs. And on this island we do have a few free roaming Microceratus, and they tend to just sort of stick to the staff area. They kind of migrate over to the guest area, but then they went back to the staff area, and I've not seen them move from there since we've been doing all the building throughout the many Fridays we've been doing this park for. But yeah, this is probably my favourite bits on the first island, is this sort of like beach area for the Ankylosaurus enclosure. I'm pretty sure this enclosure was a suggestion from somebody to add, mainly because they wanted to see Bumpy and a few other Ankylosaurus of similar colour, and they wanted a kind of beach vibe, so that's what we went for anyways. Where the Suchomimus was, we added a Dino-Kyrus to fill its enclosure up, so I didn't have to do much changing. And then we get to the first station to take us to our second island. We have a fair few different things on here. Like this is my Pachycephalosaurus enclosure, kind of almost alpine looking, with some of the trees I've used there. This being my favourite enclosure on the entire of the map. This is my Australian enclosure for the Australovenator. Absolutely cool creature, and probably one of my favourites they've added to the game other than Gigantoraptor. This is my Stygimoloch enclosure. We made it so there's loads like of dirt and not much grass, so it's easier to see these creatures, because the smaller creatures are easier to lose in long grass, so I wanted that kind of barren sort of look. This is our high security Allosaurus enclosure. Actually has a family in there. This is the juvenile, and then we have like our two adults which use the Malta skin, but I haven't got a shot of those. This is our Indominus Rex enclosure, and we learned mistakes from the first film where we decided we will have no shrubbery in there. It can't hide. And then this is our little Compy Island. I've got loads of little Compies roaming free on this island, and we have this little food like little placement here for them with a camera trap. Like, you know, I'm air quoting here, but like as in like so the guests can technically see them using camera systems. This is our semi-aquatic island where we have Nophosaurus, Spinosaurus, Baryonyx, and Suchomimus. And I really did enjoy this, and basically went for quite a swampy theme overall on this, which I really enjoyed doing. And then we went it went from swamp to sand dune. As you can see, it's kind of mixing that within the Baryonyx enclosure. And then the Suchomimus has mainly sand dune with a tiny bit of jungle to go with the rest of the natural vibe. And then this is the lead up to like the Spinosaurus enclosure, our guest area on the island, where they can get food and drink, enjoy waterfalls and statues. I really did enjoy making the semi-aquatic island. I feel like overall it's really, as a whole, aesthetic. And then we're going to go over to our next island where we have a herbivore drive-through enclosure. There's parasaurs, cories, there is mechs in there, there's also homocephali and styracosaurus. So it's a decent herbivore enclosure. This is the triceratops and torosaurus enclosure, which I really did enjoy making. This as a whole is another very aesthetic looking enclosure. The kind of vibe for it is the sort of large animal enclosures you get in real life zoos, where plants are sort of fenced off with fake rock and things like this, so the animals can't damage the trees or get damaged on the trees. This is our Majungasaurus swamp, and I do love using that, but it's like a particular set of plants for making our swamps. Like, overall, I really did enjoy making that enclosure, and it wasn't too long because we added this kind of enclosure. Well, this is where we made a hatchery into like an attraction, and then we have one animal, this Dimetrodon right here, just chilling in this very small enclosure by itself. And as you see, I've sort of decorated around it to make it feel like it is an attraction for guests. Just a bit of like storytelling in your head adds a lot more to your builds, I feel, especially if you're that way inclined. This is our Stegoceratops enclosure. Again, slightly looks reinforced because people think hybrids are dangerous, but these we know are really friendly creatures, even with all the spikes. The last enclosure I'll be showing off is my favourite dinosaur, the Carnotaurus enclosure. We have Mustard living inside this enclosure. Honestly, my favourite skin pattern for Carnotaurus. And yeah, that's it for the tour. I thought I'd do a few flyovers whilst it is in the night mode, because you can see how nice it looks at night as well, and you see the odd like reflective dinosaur and hybrid. But yeah, anyways, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this, and next week we'll have a start of a new park to build. And yeah, as always, thanks for watching. Until next time, I'll see you later.